Ever feel like you're talking to a brick wall online? You pour your heart into a blog post, hit publish, and crickets. Who's actually out there seeing your stuff?
Right. It's a mystery.
Well, today's deep dive, we're going full-on digital detective. We're about to unmask the visitors to a website.
And we're ditching those fancy analytics dashboards. We're going straight to the source, a website's raw traffic logs.
Ooh, getting down and dirty. I like it.
Think of it as the server's diary. It records every single visit, every little interaction. And it also gives us some pretty revealing details about who these visitors are.
Okay, so we've got an excerpt from a blog, blog.darkmirror.gen.nzs to be exact, and this is a snapshot of a single morning, September 30th.
Yep, just a tiny slice of time, but trust me, even this is going to be fascinating.
All right, I'm ready. Let's unpack this log. What's the first thing we see about each visitor?
Their IP address.
Ah, their digital fingerprint.
Kind of. It's more like a digital return address. It doesn't always pinpoint their exact location, more like a general neighborhood, you could say.
Yeah.
But it gives us a starting point.
And hold on, this is down to the second. 10.07.34, someone was checking out the blog. Then a few seconds later, bam, another visitor.
It really is like a live stream of activity, isn't it?
It is. So can we see what they're doing on the site?
Yeah, we can. We've got GET requests, which usually means they're just looking at a page. But then there are post requests.
Yeah.
That could be them submitting a form, maybe leaving a comment, or even trying to log in.
Ooh, someone's sneaking in the back door. Okay, we'll get to that. But first, tell me about this refer thing.
That's where it gets really interesting. The refer, it tells us where the visitor came from. Did they find the blog through a Google search? Did they click a link on Twitter? Or maybe they typed the URL directly, like a true fan.
So we can see what's driving traffic. Okay, that makes sense. Now, what about this user agent thing? Is that like what kind of computer they're using?
It's like a digital fingerprint.
Yeah.
It can tell us what device and software someone's using to browse. Are they on a phone? Are they on a tablet or a desktop? Are they using Chrome, Firefox, or even something a little more obscure? Which in this case, we've got a few head scratchers.
Oh, absolutely. Check this out. Space Cowboys Android RSS Reader. Now that paints a picture.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm picturing like a tech-savvy rancher out on the digital frontier reading their favorite blogs on a tablet under the stars.
It's not as far-fetched as you might think.
Mm.
But what's fascinating here is this single line. It tells us a lot about their information gathering habits. This isn't someone passively scrolling through a social media feed. This is someone actively seeking out content using an RSS reader. That's a whole other level of intentionality.
Yeah, you're right. This isn't just browsing. It's a deliberate choice. And they're not alone. We're seeing a ton of other RSS readers. Feedly, NoReader, NewsBlur. It's like a digital reunion for folks who still appreciate a curated information diet. Does this tell us anything about the blog itself?
It could. A large number of RSS readers, it might suggest a very loyal, tech-savvy audience. These are people who value content over algorithms. They want to read what they choose, delivered on their terms, not what some social media platform thinks they should see.
So we're potentially looking at the segment of the internet that actually reads blog posts, leaves thoughtful comments, and sparks engaging discussions.
It's definitely a possibility, something to consider for anyone trying to understand their online audience. But let's not forget, we've got another demographic lurking in these logs, and they're not here to leave thoughtful comments.
You're talking about bots, right? Cue the ominous music, because it's about to get creepy. Okay, bots. Gotta admit, they always make me a little uneasy. Like, are they just harmless helpers, or are they, secretly plotting to take over the world? What are we seeing in the log?
Well, let's start with the ones that are definitely not here to take over the world.
Yeah.
At least not directly.
Okay.
Take a look at this entry. Facebook external hit. It's like Facebook's scout, just buzzing around the internet, checking out what's being shared.
So every time someone shares a blog post on Facebook, one of these bots swoops in to check it out. Is that how Facebook decides what shows up in my feed?
That's part of it, yeah. These bots, they help Facebook understand the content of links, how popular they are, how people are interacting with them.
Huh. It's amazing how much goes on behind the scenes of a simple share button.
Right.
It's like this whole ecosystem of data collection and analysis that we never even see.
Precisely. And it's not just Facebook. Look at this. OpenAI's bot is here too.
Wait, seriously, the same AI that's writing poetry and composing symphonies is also lurking in blogs.
It might sound surprising, but it makes sense. You see, these large language models, like the one OpenAI uses, they need massive amounts of text data to learn. So they crawl the web, analyzing everything from news articles to, you guessed it, blog posts, absorbing language patterns, information, all of it.
So even the bots are reading for pleasure these days, huh? I guess in their case, it's more like research.
Right?
This is starting to feel like a sci-fi novel. What else is lurking in these logs?
Well, not all bots are here to collect data or learn. Some of them are more like digital maintenance workers, making sure everything is running smoothly.
Okay.
Take a look at this one. Grafana Synthetic Monitoring Agent.
Okay, that one sounds a little more technical. What's the story there?
So this bot is a sign that someone is serious about keeping this blog online. Grafana. It's a popular tool for monitoring websites and servers, and it sends out these little agents to make sure everything is working as it should. If the blog goes down, even for a minute, Grafana will know about it and can alert the owner.
Wow, so it's like having a 24/7 digital bodyguard, always on the lookout for trouble.
Exactly. And when we're talking about trouble, these logs can also reveal potential issues. Remember how we saw those post requests earlier, like someone submitting a form or trying to log in?
Yeah, it seemed a little suspicious.
Well, here's where things get really interesting. Look closely, and you'll see some of those post requests are going to wp-login.php. That's the login page for WordPress, a popular blogging platform.
Someone's trying to break in. It's like a digital heist playing out right before our eyes. Who is this mysterious attacker, and what are they after?
Hold on now. It's important not to jump to conclusions. It could be the blog owner logging in to update content or check on things. But you're right, any attempt to access the login page, it's something to pay attention to. It's a good reminder that security is crucial.
Okay, I'll try to stay calm, but you have to admit, this is way more exciting than just looking at visitor numbers on a fancy chart. These logs tell a story.
They absolutely do. And speaking of stories, remember those wp-cron.php entries we saw earlier popping up every few minutes?
Yeah, like clockwork. What's that all about?
Those are cron jobs. They're automated tasks that run behind the scenes of a website. They can do all sorts of things like checking for updates, publishing scheduled posts, backing up data, or even sending out email newsletters.
So even when the blog seems quiet, there's a whole lot of activity going on in the background, like those little robots in Wall-E diligently compacting trash while everyone else is off doing whatever it is humans do in that movie.
A fitting analogy. And just like in that movie, these automated processes, they're essential for keeping things running smoothly.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. We've met the readers, unmasked the bots, and even uncovered a few potential mysteries. But before we wrap things up, I'm curious, what about those failed requests? You know, the ones that don't end with a happy 200 okay.
Think of those failed requests like wrong turns in our digital city, like a 404 not found. Could be a user, they stumble on a broken link, or maybe the blog owner deleted something.
So it's not always a sign of something nefarious, like, going on.
Not necessarily, but it is a data point worth noting, especially if you see the same unusual request popping up again and again.
Like someone persistently trying to find a secret passage that doesn't exist.
Exactly. It could be harmless curiosity, or it could be the kind of breadcrumb trail a hacker might leave behind.
Okay, I'm officially slightly paranoid now. But in a good way. This deep dive has been, it's really opened my eyes. It's like there's this whole hidden world operating behind every website, and the server logs are the key to, like, unlocking its secrets.
Absolutely. And, by understanding these signals, you can make more informed decisions about your online presence.
So for our listeners, what does this all mean? What's the big takeaway?
It's simple, really. Server logs, they're not just for techies. Whether you're a blogger, a business owner, or just curious about how the internet works, those logs can give you incredible insights into your audience, your website's performance, and even, potential security risks.
It's like having a conversation with your website, isn't it? Finding out who's visiting, what they're interested in, where they're coming from.
Exactly. And once you know how to listen, you can start optimizing your content, improving your website's security, and maybe even solving a few digital mysteries along the way.
This has been an amazing deep dive. Thanks for taking us down the rabbit hole of server logs. Never thought I'd say this, but I kind of want to go explore my own now.
I encourage you to. You never know what you might find. And if you stumble across anything particularly intriguing, be sure to let us know. We love a good digital mystery.
To our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.